So I came back from Afghanistan. I had a TBI also, and I kind of and this when I came back, I didn't realize I was as not doing well as I thought I was. I wanted to go home, meaning I was stationed at SOCOM in Tampa, but the Navy kept me in Norfolk for 2 years for medical evaluation. But I was just like, I'm fine. I have physical stuff. I just want to go home kind of thing. But as I realized every day I was checking in to uh, um, the medical evaluation, I'd go back to my room and I'd cry. And I didn't know why I was crying every day. Whew, man, that just brings back some stuff. But long story short, that was in 2014. And then around 15, I started hearing about this ASAP group about, like, oh, they have guitar lessons. And I was feeling a little restless about, and no offense, but I kind of feel like us females weren't getting the treatment that we deserved, because when I would ask for combat therapy or some, because they had the groups there, they would put me in a women's group for sexual trauma, and that had happened to me, but when I was younger, and I was supporting the SF guys. I was flying drones for them. So I was kind of like, I could hear it on the radios, but I was also watching what was happening. So I kind of felt like I wasn't getting what I needed. And when I heard about ASAP, the intention was to get me out of my room. And I went to the improv class, and I felt that that was the outlet for me. And then they had a comedy, the stand-up comedy, and the improv and the comedy, stand-up comedy got me hooked. And then, it just kind of rolled, it kept rolling uphill. I was taking art classes and all kinds of stuff. But to this day, I've since moved from Virginia Beach. I was getting a divorce. I'm in Oklahoma, but I have to, the honest to God truth, 24/7, I was dealing with suicide ideation. And if it wasn't for ASAP, I would drive to DC for classes because I was getting so much out of it. And now that I've gone through a lot of the programs that ASAP, the acting classes, and I mean, whatever ASAP was, handing us, I was taking because I was getting so much of myself back, because I felt like my soul died in Afghanistan. And there was not only with the TBI and the PTSD, there was this thing that I didn't even know existed, that the moral injury. ASAP helped me get through it with the programs. And to this day, I've probably performed stand-up a handful of times, and I'm writing new jokes now about the stuff that I had gone through, because I can laugh at it now. It's because I have a new story to tell because of ASAP. I give, and to be honest with you, deepest level of truth, moving from Virginia Beach and not having ASAP, that tore me up, to be honest with you. So the fact that y'all still have online things, I just signed up for some voice thing or something like that, or voiceover thing. I'm just glad you guys are around and online to still pour into us that are doing better, but it's good to be around the community still. So I am ever so grateful for you, ASAP, like, thank you so much. And I'm so glad you guys are still expanding. I just love it. Thank you.
Wow. First, let me ask, do you say your name Andrea or Andrea?
So my mom, this isn't the comedian in me. My mom, hold on.
I just want to say she was not a plant.
So my mom said Andrea, And I wasn't paying attention. So when I joined the Navy and got to my duty station, I'm like, well, how do you pronounce your name? And I was like, Andrea, I guess, like, is there any other way? And each place I'd go to, I got stationed in Georgia, it was Andrea, or, just so I say Andrea.
Andrea. Okay, well,
Says Andrea.
Andrea, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing that. It's just so great to hear. We all work hard to try to help people, and that you're making a difference, but rarely do you get to hear from someone saying,
Oh, yeah,
this has changed everything for me.
it,
Thank
it
you.
has. And I'm not, it was 24/7, suicide ideation. I always used to say, I never wanted a weapon in my home because I was afraid to. When I knew I was staying in the Hampton area, I moved to downtown Virginia Beach, because there was a comedy place across the street. I can't, Funny Bone, but I lived on the on the ninth floor. And after a year, I moved again because, again, the ideation was there. So I moved into an apartment. I still lived across the street from the performance center in Virginia Beach. I can't remember the name of it, but I performed there with ASAP a few times. And those are the memories that I'm going to keep, that are up there with the camaraderie that I experienced with 29 years in the Navy. ASAP is like my compadre, but not in uniform, but a part of my uniform, if that makes any sense. You guys are just that powerful, is what I gotta say, you know.
Thank you so much for your vulnerability and sharing that. That is, like, I'm over here just tearing up. And so it means a lot because the work we do is really important to us. And we know that, but to get to hear the impact it has on people, I think, like, I love my job. I think I have like the best job in the world. And so it's very exciting to get to hear that. So thank you again.
Well, ASAP is doing a great job. So thank you. You guys keep going.
And
You're
Andrea,
saving
what you're
lives. Literally, you are saving lives.
what,
I'm one
what
of them.
you're